Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining me in my fancy casino.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
You got any ideas to make me win?
Well, um, for the most part, a lot of the things we've examined are how to play particular hands, like pair of deuces or aces, or if you have an 11 and that. And we want to learn that real well so that we play the best we can. So, that's something you want to memorize so you don't have to hassle with it when you get to the casino. But another part of it, and a big part of it that people realize is their system or strategy of playing and making bets. And so we could talk about that a little bit. And, we'll just call that our strategies or systems. Now we'll do some videos, other videos besides this, just particularly looking at strategies and systems. And so, you have several ways to play the game when you're in a casino, because if one system is not working, then you can switch to another one that might. What's one of your favorite ways to play?
Usually I'll play according to the card that you can get. Gives you the best statistically where you should be betting if you get double eights or you get an ace and a three, whether you double or split, just various things on the card. But we've come to figure out that some of the suggestions they have on that card is something that you can look at a lot closer and decide for yourself with our videos showing whether those strategies work.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do, what percentage of the time, what percentage of the time do they not?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to it, it's basically luck, but it's always good to have in mind how you want to be playing the game.
Oh, yeah. And that's why we spend so much time focusing on how to play the hands. But the other side of the coin is the strategies, your betting strategies. Like, for instance, I know some people flat bet, okay? They're going to bet one basic bet every time. If you win, you pull it back. If you lose, put a new one out. What happens when we play that? Well, in the course of a shoe, we've found out over years now that for the most part, it'll break about even. The dealer wins 25, the player wins 25. It happens a lot, but there's a little variation there. For instance, if you won 30 hands and the dealer only won 23, that would be a positive shoe for the player, and you will have won 7 bets. So if you're flat betting, you're going to have 7 bets. If you're betting $5, you're going to make $35. And if it flips the other way, and the dealer wins the 30 and you only win 23, that's a negative shoe. 7 bets, you're going to lose $35. And supposedly that's about the safest way to play. But is it fun?
It can be fun if you're going to enjoy the game. You're not thinking about how you should be betting or whether it's a good bet versus the card. But you're not going to get ahead. You're not going to go home with your money doubled.
Right. If you play 50 hands, it's probably an hour's time maybe. And you say it's a positive shoe, you win 2 bets, and you spend an hour and you win $10. That's great. You're ahead $10, but also you have to add into your bankroll in there. So you're ahead to your $10 plus your bankroll, because you could have lost your bankroll of $100 or $500, depends on what your level of play is. So that's important to consider when you're playing, how much you're winning, and the fact that you win or lose your bankroll to begin with. But I call a flat bet just a grinder kind of a thing. It's slow going. You can win some, you can lose some. Not as volatile as a lot of systems. And are you aware of any other systems?
Yeah, there's a lot of times when you're playing at the tables, you notice somebody playing willy-nilly. They just, sometimes they bet 1, sometimes they bet 5. They really aren't following any specific type of strategy. And if you're playing that way, you really have to pay attention to how your luck is going, or you'll lose your bankroll in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's obviously not a good thing to do.
Right. Right. And sometimes I've seen people win real good there. They just happen to be lucky, and they're hitting 16 when the dealer's showing a 6, and they get a 5 and win. And it's the dumb luck. And it happens, hopefully, you want it to happen to you too, but it happens to people. And I just, like you said, you call that a willy-nilly system. And it's, if you're there one time in 10 years, you might want to take a shot on that. But I don't see it being a winning strategy overall. And what we want to look at is strategy where we play this time, and maybe in a month or 6 months or whatever, we come back and we're going to play again. So we want to have a winning strategy for over a period of time.
One of the problems too with playing willy-nilly is if the table stays constant, same number of players, obviously just one dealer, one shoe, that's easy to see what the synchronization is, whether you're being lucky or not. But you also have to pay attention if somebody leaves the table or a couple people come in. That's going to change the flow of the cards, and you need to really pay attention then. If you start losing big time, you need to pull out.
Yeah.
If you're playing willy-nilly.
Yeah. Or really anything, because you can be winning pretty good, and they'll change the dealer, and when they change the dealer will take a burn card. And that one card that he burns can just change everything. It can flip-flop to a terrible shoe. So, you always got to pay attention to how lucky you're being or not. And that would be one of the key things you want to watch for, like you said, is if you're winning, you want to know it so you can increase your bets and play a little more aggressively. But if you just can't win a shoe, and I'm sure you've been there, no matter what you do, you have a 20, you tie. And all your good hand, no, you can't, every double you do, you lose. Every hand you look at is 15s, so they're all bad. Somehow you need to be able to recognize that and say, well, this is not my day, or this is not my table, and get up and save your money for another time. And you could just go to another table, you don't have to quit for the day or anything, but maybe it's just a bad table, and you want to, change the atmosphere, and plus your mindset.
That's true, yeah.
You want to have a positive attitude. If you're sitting there thinking, well, I can't win, and I can't win, this is a loss, you're not having any fun, you might as well take a break and go get an ice cream cone.
There you go. That's what I like to do.
Your favorite your favorite refreshment. So so strategies is important, and you want to have one, and like I said, we'll try to provide multiple strategies and systems for everybody to look at over time. And the one we like to play, which we haven't even named yet, is our go-to system. But if it's not working, we have other systems to transition into that will hopefully work better. Because if there's 25 winning hands in that shoe, you want to pick out those 25 hands to bet big on.
Right. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we start playing the game?
Okay.